So, there's the start. Sorry, I had a bit of a glitch. So, big crash at the back. Stan is struggling. Maybe got contact with Bowiness. Tom H gets a really good start and jumps ahead in front of El Trucker. Lindsay keeps his place. Stubby jumps 3 drivers and gets P4. A really good start for him. And now FaZe has to work really hard if he wants to get in front, and he does. Sends one on the inside of Nojug, but Nojug is fighting back. It's a really good defense by Nojug. Bowiness now moves in front of Joe Royal. FaZe looking to make another move on Nojug. Oh, and Not Richie joins the fight as well, late on the brakes. And is now a bit wide. So Michael can have a shot too. Side by side, who's gonna brake first? And Not Richie really confident on the brakes. A nice defense. So a lot of action everywhere on track. El Trucker still behind Tom, not able to make a move. Maybe he's waiting on the DRS. Now Stubby is slowing down the rest of the field. Tom sets the fastest lap so far, and DRS is enabled. Now Stan takes the fastest lap. And FaZe goes a bit wide. Bowiness with the move on Michael. And there's yellow in Sector 1. That's Rijad. I don't know what happened to him. FaZe Pantera still stuck behind Nojug. And sends one on the inside, and what a move. Taking P6 away from Nojug. And now we'll try to send one against Gomez now. And Not Richie pushing Bowiness. Ooh, and big crash between Bowiness and Not Richie. Bowiness maybe pushed. Well, it looked like he pushed Not Richie wide on the pit entry. Gomez now makes a move on Stubbly, and Stan sends one on Joe. Both go wide, and Joe picks up a 2-second time penalty. So big crash happened between Bowiness and Not Richie. Rijad now with a 2-second time penalty, and there's a yellow. That's Rijad, I think. Now FaZe Pantera looking real good. Gomez, his light is flashing. Are they gonna go 3 wide at turn 1? A bit of wheel banging. And Stubbly stays in front. And now Gomez is behind. But FaZe will go for a move on Stubbly. Both side by side. And FaZe jumps to P4. and FaZe picks up a 2-second time penalty. Wow. On the last lap of the sprint race, so he's gonna drop down to like what, P9? Wow. And now Chalker is now leading. And El Chalker takes P1, followed by Tom in P2, Lindsay P3, and FaZe will cross the line in P4, but will drop down to P7. So Stubby takes P4, Gomez P5, Nojog P6, FaZe P7, Stan in P8, Michael in P9, Joe P10, Rijad in P11, and not Richie will cross the line in P12, and Bowinas, who DNF, will start from P13. So solid drive by El Chalker and Tom, who battled for P1. An unfortunate result for FaZe. So there's your result for sprint race. El Chalker, winner. Tom H come in second. Lanzi P3. Stubbly P4. Gomez P5. Nojog P6. FaZe in P7. Stan in P8. Michael in P9. Joe in P10. Rijad in P11. Not Richie P12. And Bowinas in P13. So let's just wait on the custom grid to be set up, and we will go back to racing. So a bit cloudy for the race. Don't know if we're expecting some rain, but out during the race. So formation lap is underway. El Trucker will get a good shot and try to pull away from FaZe on this penultimate race, and got a good amount of points with 8 points during the sprint race. And even that extra point, a really precious extra point during the quali for P1. I think we're gonna see a really aggressive FaZe Pantera. And try to mitigate the damage as much as possible. So, really surprised that only 2 drivers are starting on the mediums. Stan and Bowiness are the only one on mediums, the rest is on soft. Of course, you get a free choice. So, prediction is a 1-stop around lap 13 for soft runners and 23 for medium runners. That's pretty much the best strategy, but let's find out. Maybe we'll see some rain. Five red lights, and lights are off, and away we go. And Tom H seems to have a really good start, and Tom H jumps to P1 after 1 turn. Stubbly struggling. Sorry, I had an emergency, but Tom H still in the lead. And FaZe Pantera jumped to P3, so what a start. After only 1 lap completed, he jumps back to P3, right behind El Trucker. And now he needs to be perfect and not get damaged. Gomez is now in the pit, so I guess he got damaged. Stan is also in the pit. Switch back to tires. Michael Tip now on no jog, side by side. And Michael jumps in front. Joe wants to make a move as well, but can't. I think we're gonna get an awesome race today. And now, Stubbly struggling to stay in the DRS range of Lenzi and has to burn a lot of ERS to remain in it. So Sten is jumping to softs. Are they expecting rain in the next 10 minutes? I don't know. And now, Joe. Moving in front of Not Richie. Not Richie fighting back. Joe with a late braking move and tries to send one on No Jug, and he does. No Jug ends up a bit wide. And now FaZe is right behind El Trucker. Having a look at the outside line. Will he send one right here? No. Pushing El Trucker through every corners. And El Trucker needs to get a move on Tom H right here, right now. Because FaZe is right there. And El Trucker goes for a move on the inside. But Tom H defends. And they stay side by side. A good defense by Tom, but now El Trucker is right behind him. Goes for the outside line, and they're both still fighting. Tom H burning up all of his ERS. Light is flashing, 3% left. Still fighting. With El Trucker, goes for a late braking move on the inside line. But will have to go behind El Trucker. And now FaZe Pantera needs to get the job done on Tom. He knows that Tom is low on ERS. Is he gonna go for a move? Tom is attacking El Trucker. Oh, and really tight at turn 1. Oh, and there's a Ferrari. Stubbly struggled with the grip. And now El Trucker goes for the racing line. And sends one on Tom. Now Tom is really, really low on ERS. FaZe needs to get the job done really quickly. You don't want to be that third man in the DRS train. And I think FaZe will go for the move now. Tom H gets a poor exit, but FaZe does a good one. And now, side by side, and we see driplets. And we're gonna get a wet race. Tom H defending like a lion. FaZe has to go and cut the corner. Because Tom pushed him just a tiny bit. And now they're racing. Once again, it's a drag race into turn 1. Who's gonna brake first? Tom H stays in front. And FaZe remains in third. While El Trucker is pulling away. Who's going to be the first to jump on Hinters? So drivers will have to be careful. on their grip. Tom once again really low on ERS. Trying to catch up with El Trucker. Lanzi not too far behind. And now Not Richie fighting with No Jug. Let's go back to FaZe, who's side by side now with Tom. FaZe takes the inside line. Elbows out, and FaZe is now in P2. And rain is dropping. We should see the DRS being disabled really soon. Lights are flashing, so that means it's a wet race for sure. And Gomez and Stan are in the pits. So that's why Stan went for soft. He knew that rain was coming. And now Lanzi struggling with the grip. And Lanzi goes in front side by side. And now Lanzi takes back his spot. And we should see everyone coming in. El Trucker, FaZe. Tom, Lanzi, Michael, Joe, Stubbly, Not Richie. So double stack for Ferrari. And that's gonna cost Not Richie at least one place. So everybody's on inters. Oh, and Rijad and Not Richie lost a lot of places. And now El Trucker and FaZe are 2.1 seconds ahead of Lanzi. Gomez is back in the pits. There's a yellow in Sector 1. That's No Jug. No Jug has no front wing. So, struggled with the grip and hit the wall. And lost his entire front wing. And after starting in P2, Tom is now down to P4. So needs to work to get back up there. Has a look. Behind Lanzi. No Jug enters the pit. Yet his wing change. Tom is really close behind Lanzi. Ooh, and there's penalties in front. Oh. El Trucker, FaZe, and Lanzi, and Bowiness. They all got 5 seconds for speeding in the pit lane, so that raining affected them really, really bad. So if Tom can keep up, he might have a chance for a podium, but he needs to get past Lanzi and try to reduce that gap between him and FaZe Pantera and El Trucker. Can he get the job done here? Has a look, but not close enough. Without DRS, it's really hard to make a move. Only to place to get a move done around this track at Interlagos. Don't know if it was glitch, but I think Tom is struggling with the grip. And FaZe sitting behind El Trucker. Just pushing enough to get our trucker under pressure and maybe cause him to make a mistake. And burn his ZRS as well. And now Tom H picks up a 3-second time penalty. Really cool shot. Of FaZe and Outstalker in the second sector. So Tom H really struggling to keep up with Lindsay. Has to burn through a lot of his ZRS. Lindsay almost 90%. Yeah, fight for championship in front. But now, with... Oh, and there's a DNF! Are we gonna get a safety car? And full course safety car! That's no jog, no jog. Hit the wall once again at the same place he did earlier in this race. So really not a good race for him. Did he have terminal damage though? His car disappeared. I saw a broken front wing, but didn't see a broken tire or something. So Stan jumps back in the pit once again. Oh, and El Trucker has a bait on FaZe to go in the pit. Pretty sure those inters can last to the end. Bowiness jumps in the pits. Oh, and then Lanzi coming really, really quick behind safety car. Careful, guys. Rejad joins him in the pits for fresh inters. So just waiting on Gomez. To catch up. Oh, and Rejad is in trouble. Can we get another angle on him? So no apparent damage. Rijad is struggling today. Him and his teammate. So not a good weekend for Alfa Romeo. And I'm wondering if safety car will wait. Oh, and there's a DNF. Stan has DNF. He lost it on the curb and bent it into the wall. But yeah, I was about to say, are we gonna wait? Well, is the safety car gonna wait on Rijad to catch up, or are we gonna get a race restart now? But with Stan hitting the wall, don't know if we're gonna see one right now. So I think we're gonna go for another lap behind safety car. Really slowing the pace of this actual race. And Lanzi jumps in the pits. Don't know why. Does he has damage? Oh, he's serving his penalty. Wise choice. That's right. El Trucker and FaZe both have 5 seconds. When Lanzi goes for full wets. So he's expecting rain to get harder. Could Lanzi pull a really good move right here? Really interesting, and we can see that it's raining harder and harder. But will it be enough to pit once again for full wets? We should see a race restart right now. Well, after this lap. So safety car in. El Trucker leading the pace. So let's keep an eye on Lanzi with his set of full wets. Let's see if he's gaining or losing. El Trucker going. And we're racing once again, and Stubbly struggling with the grip at the restart. And maybe Michael can go for a move. Late braking on the inside. Side by side with Stubbly. Stubbly takes back the lead. Well, not the lead, but stays in front of Michael. And Lanzi gets the job done on Rijad. Now Bowen is side by side with Gomez, and elbows out, and Boines picks up a 3-second time penalty, but he got pushed, I think, and it's a hard battle between those two. Now Not Richie picks up a 3-second time penalty. So let's see if Lanzi can catch up. Seems to be struggling with the grip. Rijad right in Lanzi's gearbox. And now getting passed by Rijad pretty easily. El Chocker is still leading in front of Face Pantera. I don't think full wets was the right call. But who knows? FaZe missed his apex right here. So Tom and Joe are looking at the podium right now if they can keep up with FaZe and El Chocker. But Tom can't get a penalty because he already got one. And look how far Lanzi is now. FaZe putting the pressure on El Chocker. Is he gonna go for a late move into turn 1? Not close enough. But now he's right behind El Chocker. And I think he's gonna go. Both side by side. Who's gonna break first? El Chocker breaks later and stays in front. FaZe putting the pressure on El Chocker. Tom H trying to keep up with those two. Lanzi being dropped behind. Not the best exit for FaZe. So they're using their battery right now. And Michael is being stuck behind Stubbly. Can't get the job done. But now, not Richie. Might be able to make a move on Michael. Not the best exit for FaZe. Is it going to be Michael's chance? I think he will be too far behind. And FaZe is still not able to make a move. There's yellow in Sector 1, that's Lenzy. In Sector 3. And really not the best of races for Lenzy. Lenzy heading up in the pit lane. And I think he's gonna DNF. Or maybe he will just switch back to Inters. Yes, he does. And that's Richard now in trouble. So Lenzy goes back to Inters. And still not enough for FaZe to make a move on... Oh, and Michael hits the back of Stubbly. Hoping didn't get damaged. But now Joe is catching up to Tom. There's yellow once again. That's Rejad. And full course safety car. Rejad lost it. Hit the wall. And that will cause another safety car. Are we gonna see someone in the pit? Let's take a look at penalties real quick. So El Trucker and FaZe both has a 5-second time penalty. Tom H with 3, not Richie with 3, Bowiness with 3. El Trucker still baiting FaZe into it. And FaZe is going to. FaZe will serve his 5-second time penalty now. And we'll switch to fresh Inters. And now, pressure will be on El Trucker. I mean, FaZe at the oh, not Richie and Michael on full wets. Why are they doing that? I mean, Lenzy switched back to Inters because they were not working. And FaZe is now in P7, but maybe can work his way up because they're all on old tires. Well, 15 laps old, and Boinus on 10 laps old. Inters. So clearly FaZe will have more grip. But having more grip and getting the move done are two different things. I mean, it's a really narrow track, especially in Sector 2. I mean, there's only 2 spots to make a move. And that's at the end of the start-finish line. And at the second DRS zone. Yeah, it looks to be raining a bit harder. But Michael Tip jumped back in the pits. Maybe he realized he made a mistake. And yes, he does switch back to Inters. And so is not Richie. Wow. So we're gonna have to wait till Lenzi joins back. Did not Richie get a wing change? Because his pit was actually pretty slow. And now Lenzi is in front of not Richie. So FaZe went with a bit of a gamble. I think we're gonna get 10 laps of full racing. Hopefully we don't get any other safety cars. But will 10 laps be enough for FaZe to maybe get past like 2 or 3 drivers and jump El Trucker due to his 5-second time penalty? Who knows? Just waiting on not Richie to join back. And I think we're gonna get, well, we're gonna go back to racing on the next lap. So let's prepare for a race restart. So safety car in this lap. And where is El Trucker gonna go? And he goes. And we're back to racing. And Tom H was not sleeping. Boinus jumps in the pits. And gets a 5-second time penalty with that. Tom H stays behind. So Blake says that it's push time for FaZe. And yes, it is. Can he catch up? Boinus now on full wets. FaZe trying to go past Gomez, who's gonna break first. Elbows are out. And Gomez will stay in front. I think, no! FaZe moves in front. Gomez had to go wide. It's a really, really narrow turn. And now we're in the narrow section and FaZe goes for a late braking move on Stubbly. So he really does have more grip. And both still side by side. Who's gonna brake first? But now FaZe has the grip over everyone. And he's back up to P4. So he needs to be perfect. And look at Joe struggling with his rears. So FaZe is on a mission. Michael is in the pits. What's happening with tire strategy, boys? And Michael switched back to full wets. And I think those old inters will start to struggle. Because it's raining harder than it was. Is FaZe gonna go for a late braking move once again? No. And he's losing time behind Joe. And I think he's gonna go for a move right here. Look how much grip he has compared to Joe. Not Richie now with the 3-second time penalty. Will it be enough? No, it won't. El Trucker trying to pull away. And I think FaZe will go for a move right here. Is he going to be able? No, he won't. So he's losing time. Being stuck behind Joe. Joe is struggling. FaZe hits him in the back just a tiny bit. And FaZe has a look on the outside. But really good defense by Joe, who's placing his car on the racing line. And it's a really tricky sector to get the job done. But he needs to get the job done really quickly. Because he's being slowed down by Joe. And Joe with just under 40% left of ERS. Oh, and FaZe has a look on the inside. But now side by side. A bit of contact happening. Joe goes wide. FaZe is on the outside, but will get the inside of next turn. And Joe knows that FaZe has the advantage here. And now FaZe is up to P3. And there's a yellow in sector 2. That's not Richie. Oh my god. And safety car. Is El Trucker gonna jump in the pit lane? No, he won't. And Tom H won't either. Oh. So we will get maybe 2 laps of race, 3 at best. And El Trucker and Tom are stuck with their 5-second time penalty. I mean, they won't be able to pull away with that many laps left in the race, so they will drop down. And FaZe is looking at P1 if no mistakes are made. He needs to remain clean if he wants to close the gap between him and El Trucker in the driver's standing. So waiting on Bowinas to catch up. And now 3 drivers are on full wets. Is full wets the faster tire now? Well, that late safety car will cause issue for El Trucker. Oh, and Gomez is in trouble. So Gomez lost like 3 places on their safety car. So no race restart yet. We'll go for another lap. And that will leave us with 3 laps for the actual race. Three laps for El Trucker to try to pull away and mitigate the damage. And Lenzi is now in the pits. What is he gonna go for? And Lenzi goes for full wets. So I guess they're struggling with the grip. So can't imagine those old Inter runners, how they're feeling. So everyone is behind a safety car. And yes, indeed. Didn't even notice it. So Michael is back to P5 on wets, on full wet. Can he snatch a podium? That would be amazing. So let's just follow El Trucker for this race restart. 3 laps to go. And look how much he's struggling with the race restart. And so is FaZe. And Joe right behind him. But he's on older tires. Oh, and really hard time for Joe. And Lindsay now moves in front of Not Richie. Bowiness now in front of Stubbly. So those full wets are working right now. Look how much time Michael is gaining on Joe. El Trucker still pulling away from Tom. Lindsay now with a move on Bowiness on the outside. Michael pushing Joe through every corners. And Tom is struggling. El Trucker and Tom both have a 5-second time penalty. And I think FaZe will go for a move right now. And there's yellow in Sector 3. That's Bowiness. Oh, and late move by FaZe. FaZe has way more grip. Tom H still side by side with him, but elbows out and FaZe moves in front. And takes P2. And Michael went for a move on Joe, and now he's right behind Tom. Yes, no, they speed and at the pit lane entry. So El Trucker pushing really hard to pull away from the rest of the grid and maybe save 1 or 2 places. But Michael is looking at the podium right now. Whoa, and loses it, but nicely caught. Now Joe is right behind him. And Lindsay and Not Richie are having a fight. And Rain is looking to slow down a bit. So maybe full wets. Or a bit more slippery. FaZe 1.2 seconds behind. I don't think he's pushing that hard. Trying to avoid getting a penalty, but I don't think it will be the case. Michael looking at a podium, and Joe Royal maybe, well, might be getting one too. So let's find out. El Trucker crosses the line first, on track, but FaZe snatches P1. Michael Tibb takes P2. El Trucker is down to P3 after his penalty. So really good call by FaZe to go in the pit, get, well, service 5-second time penalty, and get new inters. And Michael with driver of the day, and a really brilliant move to switch to full wets at the end. And that allowed him to snatch away P2 So, your winner for today, for the actual race, is Face Pantera, closing the gap on El Trucker for the Drivers' Championship. Coming in second place with a brilliant drive, Michael Tibb. And El Trucker takes the last place on the podium. Joe Royal, really close to get that P3, but will get P4. Lanzi with P5. Tom H drops down to P6, just in front of his teammate Gomez at P7. Stubley in P8. Not a good weekend for Ferrari. And Not Richie comes in P9. Bowiness in P10. Rejad DNF'd in P11. Stan DNF'd early as well in P12. No Jog in P13. So that's it for me today. I won't be able to stream next race at Abu Dhabi, unfortunately, because I'm moving. But hoping to get a good race, a good final race for the championship. So hope you guys enjoyed this race, and I guess the next stream I'll do will be on the new game. So yeah, really looking forward to it. So bye everyone.